Welcome to Momversations. I'm Regan Barnes, co-founder of Momavate, a nonprofit organization that promotes and advocates for motherhood. We have as our guest today, Jerilyn. We're so glad to have you.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Welcome. And we know a little bit about you. This is actually my first time meeting you. It was Whitney that was our mutual friend and helped us know about each other. So I'm
Mhm.
really excited to get to know you a little better. And just as a forewarning, um, Geraldine's two little boys are right nearby. So if they
Yes.
happen to make an appearance, then all the better. They can start their 15 minutes of fame nice and young. All right. So yeah, so you have two boys. Tell us more about you.
Yeah, so I have two boys. They are 3 and 4, and their dad and I got divorced last year. So I'm a single mom, and I live in the Lehigh area, and I'm just trying to get through each day.
Yeah,
yeah,
one day at a time.
yeah,
Sometimes it's 1 minute at a time, right?
that too. Yes. So, they're right after my divorce was final. I got uh, diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was a lot to swallow in a week.
Right. My
And that was
goodness.
not quite a year ago. So it's been a long journey, like just being flung into survival mode and haven't found a way out of it yet. So,
Well, and I think that that's kind of life because it we aren't always able to find a way out. Sometimes it's more about learning to manage being in it rather than
yeah,
always successfully getting out, right?
yes.
So, where are you in the breast cancer journey? Like, what are you
So,
still take getting treatments or?
so I am towards the tail end. So I got a double mastectomy back in September. And then I had to get another surgery in December in preparation for radiation, which started in February. And I did
Wow.
33 rounds of radiation. That was every day for 6 weeks.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just finished about a month ago. So I still have
Mhm.
to do another, at least one reconstructive surgery, hopefully a
Okay.
big one. And so that should be coming up. I don't know. I have an appointment next week with my plastic surgeon to figure that out.
Try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness for living in this day and age of modern medical miracles, you know.
Yes, totally.
Wow. So we will just continually send out good vibes and
Thank you.
yeah, so it's the end of April right now for people who might be listening to this at any point in time. And so yeah, we all need to send out those good vibes all the time
Yeah.
anyways. But all right. Well, goodness, that's a crazy time for you. Divorce followed by dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
Um, and Whitney also mentioned that you've started your own small business.
Yes. So actually I did that when I was in the process of getting like going through mediation and divorce proceedings and stuff. And so I started that about a year ago in March, and that has been really a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but it's been such a blessing to have something that's allowed me to stay with my kids and a little bit of independence and creativity and somewhat of a hobby despite the fact that it still is work. It's work that
Right.
I really enjoy. So,
What is the nature of your business, if you don't mind
oh,
my asking?
I make custom jewelry. So I do permanent jewelry and custom jewelry. So it's a really fun experience. You can come to me. I have lots of chains and charms, and you get to design a piece and I make it for you on the spot and then I custom fit it to you. So it's a really
Wow.
fun experience. Yeah.
That is cool. And like you said, there's all those ins and outs that people don't always realize when they hear you're starting your business and then, oh my.
Yeah, I had no idea how labor intensive it would be to start a business. I thought it would just be like, oh, get a little bit of materials and you're good to go. And boy, was that wrong. So,
Right. And it's the kind of thing that you don't know until you go through
Exactly.
it.
And at this point, we're invested, so we're just gonna
Keep
keep
on
going
going.
forward. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is quite a year. Divorce, cancer, and the small business.
Hmm.
My goodness. So, as a mom, what's been your biggest challenge through all that? And how did you make it through?
Oh,
Because
well,
motherhood on
uh,
top of all that, right?
yeah.
Wow.
So honestly, the biggest challenge, kind of like we talked about, was just being thrust into survival mode so quickly. Like I when I first became a mom, I was, married, didn't have a great relationship. Motherhood was tricky, but we were, like I found a lot of joy in motherhood that I didn't have in my marriage and was able to kind of navigate that. And then pretty quickly I just realized that this was not going to be the relationship that I wanted to show my kids. And so we parted ways, and I was like, okay, well, I can still kind of manage uh, you know, whatever. And then cancer, and it was just like boom. And then just my whole, the rug was pulled out from under me, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to stand up again. And so it's just been really, really challenging to navigate everything and a mom. Like what I really ever wanted to be was a mom. That's all I ever wanted. And uh I had this vision of motherhood before I became a mom, and haven't really been able to give that to myself or my kids what I had wanted, just because life was coming at me so fast. So that's definitely been the biggest challenge, is like, oh, thank you, sweetie. Um, so it's just like trying to redefine it, trying to be realistic. What are the capacities that I do have? What do I not have? Before I had kids, I just imagined that every day we were going to have dinner together as a family. That was a big dream of mine. And I was like, I can totally do that. I love to cook. And like I just foresaw that happening. And now that I'm in survival mode, like we're eating out of the drive-through almost all the time. So, it's just kind of like those little things I've like had to redefine. And I'm like, you know what? That's not ideal. I wish that I could have family dinners with my kids, and I wish their dad could be a part of it, but that's not reality. So how can we shift, and how can we pivot? And
Yes, I think
so
pivoting and shifting are major parts of mother.
yeah. So now it's more of like, okay, well, we're gonna go to the drive-through, and then we're gonna try to just eat it together in the car or at a park or something, and still get the connection that can come from the conversation. But
Yeah.
it's been really hard and sad. Like I've had to mourn a lot of like dreams that I thought, having I thought that I was going to have an intact family to raise my kids, and I thought I'd be able to be a stay-at-home mom, and really just the only thing that I needed to do was focus on them. And pretty quickly it was like, nope, you got to figure out finances. Nope, you got to figure out um I don't know, just everything. There's just so many things to figure out. And so pretty
Yeah.
quickly it was like, a lot of dreams had to die and or get rebuilt, or so that's been hard. I don't know that I necessarily figured it out, but I do know that I've had to lower my expectations. I've had to change my dreams. I've had to give myself a lot of grace and realize that I am in survival mode, and I hopefully won't always be in survival mode.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. So are there certain lessons that you have learned specifically from your children through all of this? Lessons that they've helped you as you want to become a better person?
Yeah, my boys they're just like perfect. They're just such good
Oh,
boys. And they give me so much grace.
nice.
They've taught me so much about like forgiveness and love and grace. And like I can really like blow it. I can really mess up, and I can like not show up for them in the way that I want to show up for them, and they still want to cuddle me, and they still want to hug me, and they still say, I love you, mommy. And
Oh,
um,
I love
it's just kind of taught me that they don't need a perfect mom, they just need a safe mom.
safe.
Okay, here we go.
Beautiful.
Oh, okay. So anyway, yeah. You want to say hi?
Yeah, we would be happy to
Can
hear
you tell
from
me your
you.
name? Memphis. I'm Memphis.
Hello, Memphis.
How old are you, Memphis?
Oh.
I'm 3, huh?
And Memphis is 3.
And who's
Goodness.
the best boy? Me. That's right.
That's wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you, Memphis, for how you love your mama.
Yeah, you love mommy good, huh? Okay, bye.
Wait.
So yeah, just the other thing that as I was reflecting, like back on, is like being a present mom. Like at my core, that's who I want to be. I want to be present with them, but realistically, I can't very often. And so trying to find a balance on that, how to be present when I can, and how to like let that go when I can't.
Right. Like not add to the sensation of guilt um or concern or worry for what's going to happen because you missed that opportunity to be
Right.
present. Mhm.
Okay, go on. No, sorry.
No, that's great.
Um, yeah, so
Motherhood in practice. That's
right.
amazing.
So yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but just having a mom that, like, I think it has taught me the most important thing that I need to be doing, or because I'm disappointing myself on a daily basis. Like I didn't want to show up that way. I didn't want to react that way. I didn't want to do that. But modeling repair has been something that has gone a long way. And even when I make mistakes and I fix it, I can see that my kids are modeling that too, which makes me feel better about them seeing that I make mistakes.
Well,
And
I think that is really, really extremely valuable because they will not grow up to be perfect people either. They will grow up to see ways that they disappoint themselves or disappoint other people. And they'll be able to reflect back and be like, okay, so what did mom do when this happened? And how did she repair? That's a beautiful word. How did she repair as needed? And can I follow that
mhm,
example?
yeah. So I always try to remember that even though I lose it, I can still repair it. And that's been a good lesson to learn. And my kids are just so quick to forgive, which just blows my mind.
Beef, right? That's beautiful. Um, can we kind of switch gears to your experience as a single mother? What kinds of experiences can you share from that and lessons learned?
Man, being a single mom, I actually grew up with a single mom. And so I had a pretty good expectation of what it would entail. And it still surprised me how hard it was,
Yeah.
how hard it is. You know, like I said, my maybe what's been the hardest challenge is that when I got divorced, my kids were 2 and 3. And that was like before they were in school, before, they had never been to daycare. And I really, really wanted to avoid having to put them in daycare, which, no shame to any mom that has to. It's just something that was important to me. It was a really strong value that I really wanted to see if I could accomplish keeping them with me. And, but like what that turned into was whenever they're with their dad, I have to work, and I have to work like a dog. And so there's no rest. There's no like, you
You're
know,
either working as a
I'm either
mom
working as a
in the
mom or
motherhood
working
thing,
or
or
working
yeah.
on my business. And
Yeah.
there's no rest. There's no social life. There's no get to do this with friends. It's just like work, 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 work. So that's been really, really hard. And adding cancer to that, like my body's been through hell, and I
Yeah,
can tell.
my
I
goodness.
yeah, I just like what I'm really challenged with now and trying to work with now is like my nervous system is just in survival mode, and it has been for a long time. And as like because of that, I don't have, like I said, the patience that I want to have, the kindness sometimes that I want to have. I don't have the ability to be present as much as I want to be. Like sometimes them asking me to make magnetile houses with them, I'm like, I don't have the energy to muster up, like even pretending to want to do that because I don't.
Yes.
So, my experience has been rough. It is a lot harder than I thought. The load is heavier than I thought. It's every decision, every meltdown, every bill, every meal, you know,
Yeah, that
every,
in
every
mundane in
fight,
and
it's all,
out. Yeah.
it's all on me. There's not really anyone that I can tag team with and get a break from it, and when I am not with them, I'm trying to hustle and make, pay the mortgage.
Right.
Okay, you need to go to a new room, okay? Will you go to do your flowers? Do you want to go pick another toy out of the laundry? Go pick another toy, okay? Bring it in here and sit on the floor by me.
Oh, he liked that idea. All right.
Anyway,
That's
so yeah, it's been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but the beautiful thing that I'm learning is that there's a lot of people that want to help, and a lot of people that offer to help, and a lot of people that I can ask for help, and getting help has been great. I'm gonna
wonderful.
get I'll step away for a sec. I'm gonna try to get one of them, get with some new toys.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I was telling Jerilyn ahead of time that if she needed to take that break, I would just do a little um, advertisement, so to speak, about Momavate and some of the programs that we offer. One that I would like to highlight is called Mom Pods. This is an opportunity for moms um, to partner up with each other in a very structured way so that one of the moms can be focused on the kiddos while the other mom gets a chance to focus in on her kids. I mean, on her hobby or her passion or her talent, whatever it is, or maybe she just wants to take a nap. And we put together here at Mom of Eight a 34-page brochure about how to put together a mom pod, how to find other moms, it's got worksheets in it so that you can figure out your scheduling together, as well as your budget, because if you're together over the time frame of meals, you might want to simplify a little bit and share meals together. But I really think that mom pods are meant to be an answer to some of these concerns. And it could even work in Jerilyn's case. So I was just doing my little advertisement, like I said I would,
Awesome.
for
I'm glad that worked
one of
out.
Mom Motivate's programs called Mom Pods. So we'll let you look into that too, Jerilyn, when you're ready for a new idea of getting help. And that's really what it's designed to be. And that's what we were talking about before you needed to go help one of your kids is getting help, accepting help, and how important that is. Um, all right. So, when if you all are interested in finding out more about Mom Pods, then please come to our website and use our search bar up at the top and find our Mom Pods program and download the packet. It's free. We are a nonprofit on purpose because you don't get paid to be a mom. So why should you have to pay to to improve in your motherhood or feel empowered and helped in your motherhood? So, all right, Jerry Lynn is back.
Okay. Hopefully for good.
All right, so as you were mentioning, getting help is what's important, and so
Yes, asking for help has been a huge lesson that I embraced pretty quickly. I realized right out the gate that I was not going to be able to survive without help. So I learned how to ask for help really quickly. And when anybody offers help, no matter what it is, I always accept it. So that's been something that has been important to me, is to say yes when people ask if they can help me. Can they bring me dinner? Yes. Can they watch my kids? Yes. Can they, I don't know, come over and do my laundry? Yes. So
That's great. Yeah.
yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And maybe having a running list of things that you need help with. So when they say, is there anything I can do? You can be like, as a matter of fact, I've got
Mhm.
this list.
Yeah.
That's great. I would really like to hear here in the last few minutes before we close up, what are some moments of your motherhood that have made you the proudest?
Let's see. I get really proud when my boys have been able to um express their emotional needs. I'm really, really trying hard to raise, just do all the right
Emotionally,
things.
emotionally intelligent children.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
So
like.
yeah, so just I try really hard to talk about feelings, that all feelings are valid, and how to handle certain feelings and what to say and what to do. And it it's great. Like my youngest knows how to ask for, like, he says, Mom, I need some alone time. He does a
Oh,
really good
good.
job asking for that. So I'm just really proud when they're showing, you know, what, even despite all my flaws and all the
Right.
ways that I'm not showing up for them the ways that I should, and emotionally regulating and trying to figure out, like, showing them by example when I fell with that, and they still somehow figure out ways to show up, and they can apologize, and they can talk about their feelings and their needs and stuff like that. I really, that makes me feel like maybe I'm not completely driving
Right.
them off a cliff.
Right. Yes, I think that's a beautiful way to describe a proud moment of motherhood is at least I'm not raising criminals or something,
Right.
right? Is there any advice you would want to give to a first-time mom who is feeling overwhelmed?
Um, I think it's important to acknowledge that you don't have to like every part of motherhood to like being a mom and to like your kids. There's certain things that I absolutely hate about being a mom, and that doesn't make me a bad mom, and it doesn't make my kids bad kids, and it doesn't make it that I love them any less. But like, for example, they fight really bad. I thought that having kids that close together, they'd be best friends. They are actually worst enemies. And I actually literally hate mothering the fighting. I can't stand it. I
Yes,
don't know how to do it. I'm sure
right.
I'm failing in so many ways, but like, I hate being the referee when they fight, or whatever word that you would use to describe what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
Um, but that doesn't mean that I don't like them and I don't like being their mom and things like that. So it's okay to hate certain parts of motherhood, and you're still a good mom and you still love your kids. And kind of also like what we've talked about, you don't have to get it right every time. Just repair when you make mistakes. If you really make sure that you're always repairing, or that you're showing up for your kids in that way, and in apologizing and trying to fix things and saying things like, I don't like the way that I reacted, I'm going to try better, or I'm learning to manage my big feelings too, things like that. I think that's just as valuable or more valuable than um never losing it on.
right, right.
So yeah, and then like also just like again, what we've already talked about is just asking for help and accepting help. I just wish every mom knew how. I guess I maybe this isn't true universally, but I have a wonderful community around me that is willing to help and wants to help, and they're pretty aware of me and my challenges. And you know, I don't know. Like I said, I always say yes when people offer to help. And um I don't know. I just wish that every mom knew how to do that, or every mom felt like when people
There's
offer help,
no,
they really truly want to help. They just don't always
yeah,
know what to do or what you need help with. So,
yeah.
um, yeah.
And there's no shame in accepting help at
Hmm.
all. And
Hmm.
there's no, it's not rude. You're not being rude by asking for help. So it's even beyond the accepting is being able to ask, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And it is in our nature to want to be useful to people. And so when somebody asks, I mean, there's something deep inside of us that makes us want to solve their problem if we can, right?
Yeah.
Or in some cases where it's not about solving it, it's about easing it and mitigating things, right? Um, and so I think that your lessons there are very valuable, wonderful, and I'm so glad that you took the time to meet with us today. We did have
Yeah.
some technical difficulties trying to get it started, but you stuck with us. You
Yeah.
endured.
No worries.
That's one of your powers, superpowers. You're a perseverer, right?
Yes,
So
totally.
thank you so much.
Thank you.